Hey everybody, and happy Halloween. I have to say that as quickly as possible so you don't think I went completely crazy. Going to King Diamond later. Decided I did want to dress up for it. Picked a fitting costume and everything, so yeah, this is not me going completely crazy, not in that way at least. But we do also have some video game pickups to go over for the month of October. This was a big month for like Switch games, both new releases, pre-orders, and stuff that was like delayed shipping that I was waiting on. So I got a bunch of stuff to go over for that, but at the very beginning of the month, I did pick up two more N64 imports. I haven't even thought about these in a couple weeks because all the Switch games and stuff have been pouring in for me. But we do have Choro Cube 2 for the 64. We got the first one here as Penny Racers, but this whole like toy car genre, this type of toy car stuff is a lot more popular in Japan. We get this from time to time as like gadget racers and one is like Road Trip. There's a couple different names that it's been brought over here under, but the sequel for the 64 only came out in Japan, so that's what I have right here. And we also have another weird one, Dance Dance Revolution Disney Mix, which is the only DDR we got. We got another, so Capcom was still mostly handling Disney, but this is of course DDR, so that makes it Konami. Can't really use it, but fun cartridge to have. A couple PS5 and one Xbox One. We'll go over real quick. This is the Surge 2. You can't see it. It's behind the sticker residue over here, but I don't care about it that much. It was like $5 at GameStop. It's the only reason I really picked it up. It is supposed to be good. Supposed to be like a hard like Souls-like type of thing, but with like futuristic setting. If it wasn't so cheap, I wouldn't have bothered, but yeah, just throw one in there. We got some PS5. I'll start with Mortal Kombat 1, which I almost picked this up at launch because I really, you see Mortal Kombat with me, that's one of the few series that I really follow outside of Nintendo series lately. But I held off on it. I waited for, the magic number was 30. So that's what I waited for. And I just wanted to keep up with the story that they've been doing. So they rebooted it again with Fire God Liu Kang being the person who created the whole new timeline. It was good. It was a good story. Really interesting new versions of characters that was interesting to look at. And the game plays great. NetherRealm hasn't messed up that in a long time. So yeah, really good. I think the Havoc DLC came out right the same week that I got this. And the DLC is more expensive than I actually paid for this game, so I'm gonna probably wait on that for a while. Although it does look really cool, and I like Havoc a lot. But yeah, quenched my appetite for that for the time being. Ghostwire Tokyo. This is a Tango Gameworks and Bethesda joint. Just seeing original IPs for one thing. It's a first person, not really a shooter, and I don't want to say it's BioShock because it's not really that, but it's not a shooting game. It's more you have elemental powers, and it's a first-person adventure in a cool setting. With stuff, supernatural fire, lightning elements you can combine and shit. So it looks really cool, and I heard some pretty good things about it. So should be an interesting one. This one. Weird that I have two things from Konami in my hands for the PS5. It just doesn't seem like it's a thing anymore, but here we are. Konami apparently does publish games again. But this is Cygni, All Guns Blazing. They didn't have anything to do with making this. I don't know why they decided to publish it, but here we are. It says their name on it. It's a modernized shoot 'em up, so it's got modern graphics, full polygonal graphics, sort of it's tough to say what you would do that's truly a PS5 game, but it's a shoot 'em up. It looked decent, and I think it was $20 during Prime Day deals. So I pulled the trigger because I was yeah, Konami, you have some level of sway with me, just like you do with Silent Hill 2, because this is the only PS5 game I've pre-ordered this year. At least I'm pretty sure it is. I don't remember. I paid full price almost for Alan Wake 2 last Christmas. I think this calendar year, I think that's the only one. And I just played the original for PS2 for the first time all the way through last October, so now I'm doing it with this one. I'm not done yet. I'm right about at the end of Blue Creek Apartments, so I've probably got about half the game to go. But I mean, it's great. It's modernized Silent Hill 2. They didn't mess it up. Still telling the story, still making atmosphere, still not trying too hard, which is really, really important to me with a modern horror game. It's the reason I'm always afraid to say that I'm really big into horror games. Like, I am. I absolutely am. I play lots of them. But, like, there's so many I don't like, and I think trying too hard is one big thing that a lot of them, even the good ones, do nowadays. And Silent Hill 2, I never feel like it is. It's just really good. And it's not a bot's job or anything like that. Good job, Bloober Team. And now, yeah, we've got a bunch of Switch games. A lot of stuff in here. A lot of cool stuff. I'll start with Doinksoft Collection. So, these are 3 cool games that I all have some level of interest in. I had purchased Demon Throttle used before when it was like under $20. And that was the only one that I had prior to this, but this is Gato Roboto, Gunbrella, and Demon Throttle, 3 very like retro style action games that are pretty solid. I don't think it's quite as like consistent and high level as like Bitmap Brothers Collection, which I got last month, but it's a similar vibe. 3 very retro inspired games that have a very like high level quality to them. I haven't played any of those yet. I've only played one of the games from Bitmap Brothers, but it's good stuff. Conscript. I hear nothing but good things about Conscript. It got a physical. It's Resident Evil World War 1. I had multiple people that I follow on YouTube make videos about this game and say that it was great. And of course I haven't touched it because there's too much shit in my hands otherwise. Like Stanley Parable. It only took me over 10 years to play the game that made walking simulators a thing, which is a genre that I don't say I really like, but when I think that they have an interesting premise, I'm not objective. I don't object to not really having a lot of gameplay going on. And that's pretty much what this is. I also like it in spite of Stephen Fry. So there you go. Can't believe I have to like 2 game series in spite of the narrator being Stephen Fry. But yeah, a lot of things in this game I heard of or had mentioned before, and I was like, man, I gotta play that game. It never really got a physical or anything. It's always been sort of a PC-oriented title, like a Steam game, like just inherently. So I never really bothered to go out of my way to play it. So I have a lot of the foundation of it in my head of what they're doing, but it's good to experience it for the first time. This is a really big deal for me to get my hands on. Emio, the Smiling Man, Famicom Detective Club. They've never put that 2-pack on the eShop on sale. I refuse to pay $60 for a game like that, even if it's first party. So, Emio, the Smiling Man being a game in the Famicom Detective Club series that got a physical, I really, really wanted it. I've played a little bit of it. I understand why they never brought this series to us before, because it's very Japanese, like, culturally. And I think even if you've played visual novels before, it has pacing to it that is a little bit weird. But, like, I do like the story, and I like the characters and the interactions and stuff. I need to get back to it. I've just got a lot on my plate. And a lot more coming up. But, yeah, I'm so glad that this game series as a whole is here for once. Of course, we've got Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, which I've only played for 1 session so far. I need to get back to. This is the game that I'm like, this is the one I want to put my attention on, because I've heard nothing but good things about it. Excuse me, I've heard that people think it's one of the best Zelda games in years at this point, which, I think a lot of times when a new game in a series that only puts so many games out comes out, that's something you'll hear a lot, is like, oh, it's the best so-and-so in years. But I really liked Link's Awakening, the remake. I like the style. There's nothing that puts me off about this, so I'm definitely into it, and I'm into the gameplay. I'm very interested to see, how the Echo system basically is what it is going to be like going forward, so it's pretty cool. We've got this one almost roped me in for a good while. This is Balatro. And I didn't even know what this was until a couple months ago, but people were like, oh, it's this deck building game that, like, just uses regular poker cards, but it's like, you can't get away from it. It's really good. I've gotten into a couple sessions of this already that was like, wow, this is, I can see why this is so addicting. It's very good. And because it uses poker cards, it's very easy to understand. It also has, it comes with some cards like that. It's pretty cool. So yeah, if you haven't played this, I definitely recommend this as a deck builder. It's really good stuff. And just arrived today, very fitting, Faith the Unholy Trinity. It is basically a 8-bit like Atari level graphic stuff to tell a very compelling and very interesting adventure game plot. I've seen it before. I've watched videos of people going over it, and then I realized I didn't want to watch the whole thing because I didn't want to get too many spoilers. But Fangamer made a really nice looking physical version of it. This is a reversible cover, like you'll see here. And that's sort of what the graphics are like. It's got stickers. It's got a soundtrack and promo code. Cool. I only saw the soundtrack code part before. Like a newspaper, like printout thing. It's got this is a map of one of the areas. It's pretty simple, but it's still cool that it's in there. It's a little like handbook right here. This is like really nice, good, packed full physical edition of a game. They're doing the Pizza Tower one. They've done a couple other ones, like they did World of Horror last year. So if they've done Tunic, I know it was a big deal. So like yeah, if you see Fangamers doing one, it's gonna be a really nice edition, whether it's the regular one or a big fancy collector's edition. So this is like, you can order this now for like $35 today. But I literally just got delivered this morning. So yeah, that's great stuff. A lot on my plate, a lot of going on. Like, I'm still waiting for Super Mario Party Jamboree to come. That and Brothership are gonna come together probably next month. So there's a lot going on for just Switch stuff in general, and of course we are very close to finishing the N64 library as like this, what is now sort of the first run through of the N64 library. I'm on Tony Hawk 2. There's like 5 games after that. Like, it's crazy that I've been doing this for consistently like 8.5 years now. And that's how long it's pretty much going to take me, but it's kind of wild. And I haven't just done Mario Party 3. I have that review on the way to the site, and the other 2, as of today, the first 2 are already up. So that's what's going on right now. You got not going out of my way for a lot of games, just like stuff that I knew I wanted that's been talked about and on the way. Just a lot of stuff came in, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. So it's pretty crazy. So with that, happy Halloween, everybody, again. Be safe out there, and I'll see you another time.